I was thinking the other day about when I was in Mansfield, Louisiana. I was 19 years old. I got busted for selling crack cocaine, and the DA, Richard Johnson, which I was thinking, I was wondering, was he the first black DA in Mansfield? Can somebody, if you know, let me know if he in the comments if he was the first black DA in Mansfield, if he made history. But when I was in court, I took my case to trial because the first plea bargain that they came, or not even a plea bargain, it was 20 years. That's what they offered me. And I was like, well, I'm not taking 20 years, so we got no choice but to go to trial. But I remember doing trial, he said something that stuck with me my entire life. And where I was in court, I testified that I owned a business and that it was a car dealership. And he asked me 3 questions. 1, do you have a business license? Which I replied no. 2, do you have an occupational license? Which I replied no. And 3, do you have a dealer's license? Which I replied no. So I was only 19. I didn't know nothing about none of that stuff. I just know I wanted to open up a business. And I was wondering to myself, like, what if we had a program for people in the streets where the state would actually help you with these things? They would help you get a dealer's license or a business license or occupational license or whatever type of license you need. Because the money goes to the state, so the state can actually just like make it out of some type of grant or something like that, if they don't already have that program. But what program I know they don't have is a program specifically for drug dealers. Because ultimately, drug dealers are people who are in business. It's just an illegal business. So I was thinking to myself, it would be good if, you know, they had a program that reached out to drug dealers instead of busting them and putting them in prison, to reform them and help them create a business. Have classes to teach them about businesses and make them a productive member of society as well as a tax-paying citizen. Because there's a lot of funds that go into the task force, the drug force, and different things like that. And if we can allocate some of that money towards actually helping these younger kids who are in the streets, I guarantee you a lot of them would prosper in ways that was never seen before. Because take myself for example, man, if I would have had somebody 20 years ago who could have taught me about a business license and all the licenses I need, as well as personal credit and business credit, I would own my 200 buildings that I want to build right now. I would have that right now. Problem was, when I was young, the people in my circle, they told me to go get food stamps. Nobody knew any better. Nobody had any real education, especially not in business. So that's just a thought for the day. Anyway, shout out to Richard Johnson, because I remember, you know, after trial, I went and shook his hand. And man, here I am 20 years later, and I'm doing some major powerful things. And I just in my mind, I'm thinking about the younger generation right now who in the streets right now. And it's several of them out there right now who just don't have no guidance. And I just wish we had some programs like that. I'd be willing to come speak and teach for free. GOG.